Hey YouTube. So I'm gonna get a little bit personal before we start this video, and I promise you there's a reason for it. So last year in 2022 was actually a really difficult year for me personally. It just felt like almost everything was going wrong, and there were so many big, heavy issues, and they just took basically until the end of this year to get resolved. And I'm sorry I'm being a little bit like vague about things because not everything is exactly my story to tell. I just find in my own life, like when things get too heavy and it just feels like it's all too much, like something will give. I remember when I just had Olaire as a newborn, there was this one point where I wanted to take all of my seedlings that I had worked so hard to start, and I wanted to kill them all. Like I was just done with them. And I knew at that point that, okay, you need to step back from what you're doing. Like obviously you're getting too stressed. It's all too much. This year, I guess last year, the 2022 manifestation of that my life is just too much is I did not store my Dahlia tubers correctly. Like barely at all. I started the process, I didn't finish the process. And it's so sad because finishing the process literally meant lifting the box of Dahlia tubers, taking them downstairs, and putting them in our cold storage space. Like that was it. And I actually couldn't physically do it myself anymore at that point because I was just too pregnant, and my pregnancy was actually a really risky pregnancy, and doing something like that could have like put me and my baby at risk at that point in the pregnancy. And I could have just asked my husband to do it. I could have asked my mom to do it. Like I could have figured it out, right? But I think just sometimes when you're in that headspace, it just is this impossible task and it just doesn't get done. So now that like Julia is born, we're both safe, everything, I think really pretty much everything that went wrong last year is like resolved, or as resolved as it can be. So, you know, I'm feeling a lot better about life in general, but I probably have a lot of rotten dahlias. And I mean, it would be easy to just hide and say like, well, everything was fine, and just like not talk about it quietly, buy new ones, everything is fine. But I don't want to do that because I think this is a thing that happens to a lot of people. And for you, it might not be your Dahlia tubers. It could be whatever it is. And I just want you to like not feel ashamed. And you know what, even if you didn't have a stressful year, sometimes you just don't have the right conditions to store your dahlias. Sometimes just like stuff happens and your Dahlia tubers don't store well, things go rotten, things dry out. So I thought, you know what, I'll do a video and I'll just show you the bad and the ugly. And I mean, who knows, maybe there's some good in there. Maybe we'll be surprised. But here is Dahlia Disaster 2023. Enjoy. So one thing that I'm super thankful for is that I packaged up my dahlias in individual bags. So at least there's like some vague hope that not everything is destroyed. And the other silver lining is I did send some of my dahlias with my mom, and she thankfully packaged them correctly. So at least like if this is all like gone, at least I have the ones that are at my mom's, and those will still be okay. So I don't have to start like completely from scratch. But honestly, these guys smell pretty gross. I'm certain most of them have mold. But let's just open up a bag and see how bad it is. Okay, bag number one. This one actually doesn't look so horrible. So maybe we're starting with one that's salvageable. So first thing I'm seeing as I'm looking in here is that there are shoots that have already started. Now this is not the end of the world, actually. We can work with this. I can throw them under a grow light. Even though it's late January, that's okay, because I was actually doing this in late January last year and it worked out quite well for me. So initially, this one's actually looking okay. So this kind of purple stuff here, that's some new growth. But if we get this under a grow light, this can be dahlia cuttings for us. And let's just take a look at that tuber. So this tuber is actually perfect. I promise you, there are definitely some not so perfect ones. And we have some nice eyes. This is actually a groovy tuber. this is extremely salvageable. So as you can see through the bag, like they're all kind of starting this growth. So I say we run with it and we're gonna build up our stock. So this bag, I don't know if we're gonna be so lucky. Like you can see, can you tell on the camera? Like there's definitely mold on here. Now the mold, we'll see how squishy it is, right? Like if the tubers aren't squishy with water, we might be able to salvage this. And these are also unnamed tubers. You know, my girls sometimes take the tags away or I forget to label them or whatever, just stuff happens. So I don't know what these ones are. Okay, so this is how it's coming out. Ugh, this is gross. All right, so we have mold. You know, as I'm just kind of squishing it, like it's not horrible. This might actually be salvageable. We're gonna maybe run these through some bleach and just wash them off and see if we can make this work. Let's see what else is in here. This is a big clump. Okay, is this one Dahlia tuber or two? Oh, I can't tell what is going on here. All right, so this is definitely squishier, although I think I might be able to salvage some of this. Like I could rip some of these clumps off and see if we can be okay. Like this right here, see how much this squishes? Yeah, like that's dead. That's not coming back. We've got one more. Oh my God, this smells so rank. Ugh, okay. This one, when I do the squish test, is actually quite good. This one I think is definitely salvageable. So now that I've got it washed off, let's talk you through what I think I see. I'm still don't consider myself like expert at dahlias. So those of you with more experience, feel free to correct me in the comments if you think what I'm saying is not quite right. So I'm just wondering if like here and here might be where eyes will show up. When I squish this, like there's a little bit of give, but it doesn't feel bad. Obviously this tuber here is not going to do anything. I should probably just rip it off. Like it's no good. But otherwise this seems like a reasonable mother tuber and I'm going to give this one a try. Okay, so now that I've rinsed off this one, some of these I think are no good. So like this one hanging on by a thread, pretty severe mold, like yuck, that's gone. Same thing, this one does not feel great. We're gonna get rid of that one. But like over here, this one feels pretty good. This one, I think this one might be reasonable. So I'm gonna keep this tuber as is, give it a try. I'm also gonna dip this in bleach to make sure that we can kill off some of that mold that's accumulated on here, and we'll see. So initially I thought maybe this might be doable, but everything just peels away so easily. I think this whole thing is rotten, so this is not worth keeping. I don't know, you guys. I might be changing my mind. Like this just, oh, it smells so awful. I'm thinking now that like if I just kind of feel it through here, like this to me is just so squishy and watery. Like, well, I think this is just garbage. Compost, sure. This one, again, it feels really, I don't know, like maybe that's salvageable, but I'm just not sure I want to deal with it. Like, quite honestly. So this one here in this bag doesn't seem quite so bad. Like when I squish it, it's not goopy. I'm not seeing like mold. Open it. So there's some mold, but there's not like ridiculous amounts of mold. Maybe this one's worth going through. So, oh no, ew. No, that's a definite no. That's a definite no. I'm gonna say no. Oh my goodness. Like maybe. Okay, this one's a maybe. Not too bad. So no. 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 Blah. Like, not worth it. So this next set of bags was one layer down in the box, so it didn't get as much light. I don't know, maybe didn't get as much moisture on the outset. This one doesn't look good. Definitely has some mold, but you know what? The rest of these actually look pretty salvageable. Again, groovy. Groovy for the win. I guess, you know what? If you suck at storing dahlias, get yourself some groovy as your red. This is a keeper. Okay, so first we're gonna check out this bag of Nano Buzz. Oh, we have some growth here. Okay, well that's a good sign. I mean, if we have growth, these ones are perfect. Okay. Okay, this is very, very encouraging. I'm not gonna actually lose all of my stock. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually rip this off because this has gone quite a ways, but I will get new growth from this and I will definitely be able to have a new dahlia and do some cuttings off of this one. So hooray. Let's see about the rest. Okay, well this one hasn't grown yet, but like this one looks perfectly healthy. This is what we want. That's great. Okay. This one, again, perfectly healthy, but has that growth. We're going to snap this under a grow light. And we've got one more. All right. Look how giant this one is. That's a crazy, I'm assuming this is a mother tuber. That's so crazy. But yeah, perfectly healthy. Excellent. Most of these American Dawn ones were rotten, but I took away most of the rotten stuff, and like even this I'm not sure if it's gonna make it. I think this will make it. This is also, I think it should make it. I don't know. I love that tuber so much. I'm gonna try. So here's my other box, so you can see how they were stored. Well, this is good. It's like if any of the tubers have this on it, they're good to go. This is the Tangerine Dream. I really love this one, so I'm happy this one lived. This one also looks like, yeah, that all feels a bit more salvageable. Oh, good old Jowie Nikki. Man, those Jowie ones, they do so well for me. Oh, this one's good too. So it's like if anything was on the bottom, it had a chance, but if it was on the top, no way. Brown Sugar. This is another really reliable one for me. Let's look at some like this. Although, like, it doesn't feel bad. The squish is not bad at all. Oh, these are unknown ones. Okay. What else? Now this Jowie Nikki at the top, not so good. Like this one is definitely toast. But we'll see if we feel in here, maybe some of these are better. Looks like Rose Toscano is likely a goner. Sad. What else? Let me get that one. Already Adele. Well, I don't know. This is painful. My Castle Drives. Okay, but I love my Castle Drives so much. I think I will try and fight for this one if there's any way this can be saved. Somehow this lone Cornell seemed to survive. Excellent. So in conclusion, I would say that I probably lost about 3/4 of my stash, which is depressing. But to be fair, I didn't store them properly, so the fact that I even have like anything at all is really exciting. So I guess, you know what, this is just a learning experience in I really should have asked for help if I was feeling that down and not let, you know, this get out of hand. But it's also kind of a learning experiences and like what varieties can handle my abuse, what varieties are early to start, because I live in a short growing season, right? So the varieties that are early to start are actually really, really valuable here. And then I guess I'll have to plan out my budget and see what varieties I think I want to maybe invest in now that I've lost so many. And then I'm excited to see kind of what is at my mom's, because I know I have some cafe au laits at my mom's. I think I have like a Sylvia. I know I have a smaller yellow one. So like all is not lost, but oh, that Castle Drive one really hurts. I loved that one. All right, well, hope you enjoyed this video. If you can relate at all, or if you've had a similar experience and something has happened to you, can you please pop that in the comments so I don't feel so alone? And yeah, I'll also give you some links to how I should have stored my dahlias. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.